Brought to you by Alman Auctions, the worldwide leader in antique tractor auctions.
Well, most folks quit riding a tricycle maybe when they're about 3 years old, but Steve Persinger from Corsicana, Kentucky, you still ride a tricycle all these years later.
I've rode tricycles all my life, baby. I'm 66 years old. I love my tricycle.
Tell us about this tricycle right here.
That was my father's tractor. He bought it new in 1959, and we farmed it every day, and on weekends we go to tug pulls and won several trophies. We had a good time with it. But he passed away about 5 years ago, so I just had to restore it.
In his honor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, in his honor. Yeah.
That's a good way to have a tribute to your dad and all the work he did on the farm. Tell us about what kind of tractor this is and maybe a little bit about what it meant to the family.
Well, it's a 1959 Ford 961 Powermaster, and it originally has about 50 horsepower. And of course, when we pulled it, we souped it up a little bit. It's been bored out and souped up a little bit, but it just means so much to the family. My grandson is 13, and he usually goes with me to tractor shows, and he loves driving it. And I told my wife, something happened to me, you give it to him. It's his tractor. Let him keep right on showing it.
This is a Ford tractor that's going to go across at least 3 generations,
oh, yeah.
4 even.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're going to keep it in the family. It's been in the family ever since day one, so got to keep it in the family.
Do you remember the day your dad brought it home all those years ago, in 1959?
Yeah, I was 10 years old. I'm a 49 model. It's a 59. But, I remember it, and I couldn't wait to get my butt in the seat, baby.
You're still that way, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm still that way. Yes, I love it.
I bet you cultivated a lot of ground with this tractor.
Yes. We cultivated all that corn with 2-row cultivators, and it wasn't nothing to fall asleep and plow up corn and get my hind end whipped. But we done it. We made it. We had a good time farming with this tractor, yeah.
How easy was the 961 Powermaster for a kid like you growing up to use on the farm? Easy driving?
Oh, yes. It's real easy driving. Power steering on it. And the only thing it's got the double-powered clutch, and the clutch stood way up. And being a little guy like I was, I had sometimes stand up on it to get the clutch go down, but we managed.
Tell us about that engine, both the way it was originally and maybe how fast, how much horsepower you added to it.
Well, it probably added another 15 horsepower, and it really made it a lot better on the pulls. We could pull on a different gear.
Tell me a little bit more about the 961. What's some of your favorite things, some of your favorite features about what Ford put into this tractor all those years ago?
Well, a lot of the tractors back then had the selectable speed, which a lot of people like. This has got the old 5-speed transmission, and I just favor it a lot better. And I've won some games with it with the chain in the box, because third and reverse is right together, and I can do it a lot quicker than they can on the selectable speed, and I beat them. So, but and it turns easy in and out of the row when we cultivated with it. Just sling her around and go right back in the next 2 rows, picking corn or cultivating corn.
So Steve, when your dad used it back on the farm, tell us a little bit about the weights that he had on it.
Well, the weights that you see on it now, the weights was just like it was that come on it new, and they was extra, of course. But each weight on the back wheels weighed 35 pounds apiece. And then the plate that bolts on, they bolt onto it.
3,500?
No, just 35 pounds apiece, and then you got 16 of them on each side, and then the weight that they bolt to weighed about 75 pounds. But it gave you a lot more traction when you pull plows. You almost had to have them with that smaller tractor. We pulled 314s with it, but it would pull them 4 or 5 miles an hour, just drag right on through the bottom.
And then the front weight?
And the front weight is just a weight box that actually you could put 6 weights inside of it, and they weighed 45 pounds apiece, and the box itself weighs 130 pounds. So they give you more weight to keep the front end down.
And these days, a long way away from 1959, those weights are kind of hard to come by, aren't they?
They're really, really hard to come by. You'll find them on the internet, Craigslist, eBay, $500. I've seen them as high as $1,250 for a set of them. So if you got a set, hang on to them. They're worth some money.
So, Steve, do you have classic tractor fever?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Well, my wife says I'm not going to buy no more tractors, but I know she's going to see this probably in the film. But I got my eye on some more right now.
1959 tractor. What would your dad say if he could see it today?
Oh my goodness, I wish he could have seen it today. I tried and begged him to let me restore it before he passed away. And he said, I ain't gonna spend no money on that old tractor because he was tight. And I said, well, Dad, I'll fix it up and one of these days. So I did. I wanted to do it so bad before he passed away, but he just didn't want to spend the money. I said, Dad, I'm gonna pay for it. But it is what it is, I guess.
All right, Steve, thanks for visiting with us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. It's been great meeting you guys and talking to you. And I'll watch your show every time it's on. I tape them all.
All right, Steve, thanks so much for sharing the story of the Ford 961 Powermaster, carrying on the Ford family tradition up there in Kentucky.